Hello everybody, I hope you're having an amazing day. Today we're going to speak about the 6 dividend paying companies that you absolutely need to own. Now all of these companies are amazing businesses and great investments that in my opinion all deserve a spot in your dividend paying portfolio. And if you look down below you can find the timestamps, so if you want to go to a specific part of this video you can just do that, but please make sure to watch this video until the very end so that you don't miss any important stocks that I'm gonna present today. And let's start with the first stock on this list, that is 3M. Now, if you never heard of them, that's because it's a pretty discreet company. But I love 3M because they are diversifying in so many sectors and they are really successful in each of them. They own dozens of really popular brands like Post-it, Scotch, Nextcare, or even Ace. And as I said before, they are active in so many different industries like the automobile, the construction, the transportation, energy, electronics, and even the healthcare sector. But what makes this company so interesting for the long term is that they have a really sustainable business, and as I said before, they are diversifying in all consumer sectors. They are currently worth about $200 a share, but they had a 52 weeks range of about $131 to $203, so they're really high right now on the high end of the 52-week range. And they have a market cap of $116 billion, which makes them a huge company, but they still had a lot of ways to grow the business in the future. But hey, we're here to speak about dividends, and yes, 3M pays a dividend of 3%. That is, in my opinion, really safe and sustainable because they have a PE ratio of only 20. So that means that the dividend they're paying right now is really safe and has a lot of ways to grow in the future. Now, the dividend of 3M is super interesting. Let me tell you about some facts about them. They started paying dividends more than 100 years ago, and they are one of the rare dividend kings that paid their dividend for more than 50 years in a row by increasing it every single year for more than 60 years. And if you don't know, in the S&P 500 there are only 31 companies that are dividend kings, and 3M is one of them. And also they have a current ratio of 1.84, which means that they have 1.84 times more assets than liabilities, which for a company this size is really good. And if we look at what the experts have to say about 3M at the moment, most of them are saying to hold your position, which I would recommend also, since as I said before, their current price is about $200 and they're pretty much on the high end of the 50-week range. So maybe if you want to buy some 3M, you can buy a little bit when the next dip comes, and that would be a good time to get into 3M shares. But if you're here for long-term investments, it doesn't really matter. So in my opinion, yes, I highly recommend buying some 3M shares since their business is so sustainable, already so big, and has so many ways to grow in the future. Also, I don't see this company going anywhere since they own so many brands that we all use on a daily basis, and also they have a really healthy balance sheet. And by the way, I didn't present myself. My name's Alexi, and here on this channel I speak about personal finance and especially how you can make, invest, and enjoy money. And only about 7% of my viewers actually subscribe to the channel, so please make sure to turn on the bell notification so that you will be notified every single time I upload a video. And also, I just created a Buy Me a Coffee page, so if you want to support me and support this channel and the content that I make, you can just do that. The link is in the description down below. Okay, next on the list, and I actually got 2 companies that are pretty similar but that have a lot of different perspective for the future. They are in the exact same sector, which is the telecommunication one, and they have a really different balance sheet. So right now I'm gonna present both of them right now, and you can choose which one is the best for you. These 2 companies are AT&T and Verizon, both leaders in the telecommunications sector. Now, when it comes to the size of both of these companies, they are pretty similar, with AT&T having a $228 billion market cap and Verizon having a $242 billion market cap. So both of them are still comparable because they have a really similar, well, activity and also market cap. Now, at the time of recording this video, AT&T shares are about $32 per share and Verizon's is at $58 per share. Now, when it comes to the 52-week range of AT&T, they went from $26 to $33, and for Verizon, they went from $52 to $62. So from what we can already see with the 52-week range, we can tell already that Verizon is a little bit more stable when it comes to the share price, mostly in my opinion because of the balance sheet that we're gonna speak about right now. Now, of course, this video is about dividends, so let's speak about them. AT&T has a 6.6% dividend at the moment, which is really high. And on the other hand, Verizon has a 4.3% dividend, which in my opinion is a little bit more healthy than AT&T's dividends. But now, what makes the biggest difference between those two companies are the PE ratios. Because right now, at the moment of filming this video, AT&T doesn't even have a PE ratio anymore because they had to go in the red zone, and now they are not making any more money, so the PE ratio is non-existent. But on the other hand, we have Verizon with a PE ratio of 12.8, which is really low. Now, just by judging this PE ratio, we can already see that Verizon has a better balance sheet than AT&T because they are in the profits right now. But now, what is also interesting to see is the earnings per share of these companies. Starting with AT&T with a negative $0.34, which is bad of course because it's negative, and 4.56 for Verizon. So right here again we can see a difference in the balance sheet of these companies with a positive and negative earnings per share. And again, if we look at the current ratio of assets per liability, we can see that Verizon is in the positive when AT&T isn't. But from what I just showed you guys, you can see the difference in the balance sheet of these two companies. Now, I will never recommend to just buying a company because they have a high yield, but that's pretty much the case of AT&T. A lot of people are buying into this stock because they have a 6.6% dividend yield. But if you want something more sustainable and that in my opinion is a little bit more interesting, I would say that Verizon is a better investment when it comes to their dividends. But at the end of the day, the choice is yours, so let me know in the comments which one you prefer between AT&T and Verizon. Next on the list, we have the Procter & Gamble company, ticker symbol PG. Now, what I really like about this company is that just like 3M, they are branching in a lot of different consumer products, and that makes them a super interesting investment because they are really diversified and really successful in each of them. They focus their business in many things, but especially beauty, home care, children care, skincare, and all that kind of stuff. And they're currently operating in 180 different countries, which is mind-blowing in my opinion. Now, they are currently worth about $133 per share with a 52-week range of $111 to $146. And now when it comes to the size of the company, this is completely crazy. They have a company that is worth $326 billion. And with all that in mind, they still pay a dividend of 2.7%, which just like 3M is super safe with a PE ratio of only 24. Now, remember with 3M, I told you they paid their dividend for more than 100 years. Well, here it's even better with 130 years. And they consistently paid and increased the dividend each year for the last 64 years in a row. And again, just like 3M, that makes them one of the dividend kings. Now, when looking at what the experts have to say about this company, we can see that they consider it a hold or a buy depending on your position, which in my opinion is a fair thing to say. And since, as we saw, they have a super healthy balance sheet with a great dividend that is safe and sustainable, I would highly recommend buying PG for long-term investments. Hopefully they'll continue to pay this dividend for a long time, increasing it every single year, and I really recommend you guys buy this company in your dividend portfolio. Now let's go to the last stock on this list, that is CSCO. They're an American company that develops, manufactures, and sells high-tech products. You probably use some of their products without even knowing it because they're pretty much everywhere. They're currently worth about $51 per share at the time of recording this video, with a 52-week range of $35 to $53. So again, they're pretty much on the higher side of this 52-week range. Now, just like the other company that I presented today, they have a big market cap of $215 billion, which makes them a huge company that has grown a lot. And just like the other companies here, they pay a dividend of 2.92%, which makes it not too low and not too high. In my opinion, that's a pretty average dividend that is really healthy. But they also have a low PE ratio of 21.4. They have an earning per share of 2.29 and a current ratio of 1.61, which for both of these metrics are pretty nice. And if we look at what the experts have to say on CSCO, they're pretty much recommending to buy it, which in my opinion is the right thing to do. Just like the other company that I presented you today, they have a really sustainable business, they have a lot of ways to grow, and they're already well established with a great dividend that is pretty safe. So if you want to invest into the tech sector with a company that is already grown, that is really safe, and that pays a dividend, in my opinion, CSCO is a great one to do so. And if you guys enjoy the content that I make here, go and watch one of these two videos right now, and don't forget to check my Buy Me a Coffee page in the description down below. That would mean the world to me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.